right, let's start this.
Let's
get this go. Oh, I have desktop audio. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to the not Discord people talking. I'm Rookzer0. It is the viewer suggestion today on the YouTube. We are streaming on YouTube. It is March 3rd. This is episode, I don't know, like 186. I just wrote it down. Holy crap. I forgot that fast. That's how my brain works. That's how my brain do. 186. All right, we're rocking it. Nebby, can you give rugby costumes really long arms? Wait, can you give rugby's costumes really long arms to drag along the floor? That's a really funny idea, Nebby. I like that because then it would be like a giant, like a big rug, like a bugbear hoodie. But I did say when I designed rugby that I will never draw him with arms. That was something I said, just as a pact between me and the Discord. I will never draw rugby with arms. That being said, we could draw rugby wearing a hoodie with long arms, like long sleeves. I think that would be pretty funny. So maybe that's what we'll do for the warm up here. We'll draw rugby wearing a goblin hoodie or something. Lock Prime, welcome. Yeah, rugby with Big B's hand I think is kind of the jam for it. So, ooh, that's not what I expected my pen to do. That's fine, I guess. Big B's hand. That's a good spell. Oh, yep. Yep. Absolutely right. Oh, come on. Technical difficulties. I forgot to start up the game capture. Power Armor Goliath Artificer. I like that. Goliath Iron Man. JMac, today we are going to be doing we're doing the viewer suggestion. So if you have a D&D character you'd like to see drawn, and you can explain it to me in one sentence without saying he's got a bunch of pets and or swords and bunches of mounts, let's do it. Yeah. I preface that because I used to get that a lot. And no fan art. It's got to be D&D characters. And I'm on to a lot of those people who are trying to make me draw JoJo characters by explaining it was D&D. I'm on to your game. All right, there we go. The live stream is up. Let's get this going. I'm going to warm up with a rugby sketch. 20. Man, I don't know if it is push-ups. I feel like I want to do push-ups, but I also don't want to do push-ups, you know? You'll do 20 push-ups? All right, if you're doing 20 push-ups, I'll do 20 push-ups. Thank you, Brian, for the donation. I do appreciate it. Appreciate keeping this channel going. Okay. While I was down here, I noticed that my computer's getting a little dusty, so we'll do that. All right. Rugby. Here we go. Oh yeah, I'm glad I warmed up today. My hand is not doing what I think it should be doing. Yeah. What? Yeah, I struggle with calligraphy all the time because it's like a very planned thing. You can't kind of just freehand calligraphy. It's like you need to plan out your line spacing, your kerning, your mid heights, and I'm just like, damn it. And really what it is you just have to practice and know what you're going to do and then do it. So I'm struggling with that too because I wanted to do for the fortune teller card. I have that tarot card, and I think that's going to become one of the quests, one of the side quests for our Kickstarter. And I wanted to like hand write something on the back, scan it, and then print it on all the cards. I'm bad at it, real bad at it. So that's probably going to be the last one I do, and I'm going to spend as much time as I can trying to make it look nice. Might even have somebody else do it just because, you know, I'm not good at it. It's not something I've practiced at all. Yep. Oh boy, this is turning out different than I thought it would. I really do want to make, like, at some point, I do not have the money or time to develop this, but I would love to make, like, a rugby hoodie. I think that would be really funny. Like a onesie. The question is, would it actually be rugby, or would it just be a bugbear hoodie with, like, an open mouth and the nose? The big old floppy ears. Yeah, it's just a Snuggie. It doesn't have the armholes. Just make like a big poncho. Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying rugby doesn't have arms. I'm just saying I'm never going to draw them. Tell you what, if I ever do an OnlyFans page, it will be pictures of rugby with arms. That's what will be on my OnlyFans page. Tempest Domain Cleric. Shoot one more hammer. Native. Yeah. It's rugby carrying arms around. Tempest Domain. So J-Mac, the thing with a lot of my sketches is I kind of don't know where they're going. So I might end up just doing a portrait. If they do, I might get the shield or the hammer. I might not get either, but we'll see where we go. So the last Tempest Domain. I'll write that down. I like that. It's got a cool idea. Painting my Warhammer army at the moment, which is one of my many reasons I haven't been around for the last month. That in college. And ending 3 of my 5 friendships. Oof, that's never fun. Never fun. College is a weird time. Oh no, I've stepped out for a bit. You say, yeah, I did push-ups. Then I would say, okay. I'm not going to lie to you about whether or not I did push-ups. I just decide whether or not I'm going to do push-ups. Just the tube, no arms, holes, hoodies, long flaps. Yeah, I think it would be more fun as like a coat. Just like an actual cape, a rugby cape. Rugby cloak. I have been struggling so hard this month to draw faces, and I don't know why. Something strange has happened in my brain. I just don't remember what faces look like anymore, apparently. I know that's actually a thing that can happen, but I don't think that's what's going on. I think I made that sound way more dramatic than it is. I've just been having a hard time. I think I need to get back into reference drawing because I've drawn too much rugby face. Yep. It's really weird going from like a very cartoonish style to a very, I don't want to say realistic, but more realistic style. Is tough. Like it's a very different mindset. Okay. More detailed, yeah, that's a fun way to say it. There we go. It's rugby wearing a really big raincoat. There we go, with big floppy sleeves. We'll give him. I kind of like tall leg rugby. I'm not going to do it a lot, but I think it's funny. Some people don't know how tall rugby really is. Like maybe he's just squatting all the time. Maybe he's got big boots on too. Big galoshes. Rain slicks rugby. All right. That's probably a good warm up. Oh boy. 1,300 points worth of movement. I have no idea what that means. I have a vague idea of what that means, to be totally honest, but... Hello, Lincoln. Welcome, welcome. J-Mac, David, Birding Palace. We got everybody in here. I don't think you can shout out people in the YouTube chat, can you? We've been hanging out over on Twitch a bunch more. I only say a bunch more, but we're only streaming 4 times a week, so half the time we're on Twitch. The other half, we're over here. All right, Goliath Iron Man style. This could be really cool. Yeah, if you haven't checked out some of the other artists over on Twitch, I highly recommend it. Burning Palace is doing some great work. Serious George. Yeah. Simply George's. Did I say Serious George? We're just serious. Simply George. Just want to change his name to Serious George. That'd be great. Sorry. All right. We did some character challenge for his Discord last month, and that was a lot of fun. Oh, I was working on the Patreon rewards. Speaking of, I don't know why that popped up in my head. I ran out of envelopes, so I got to go get more envelopes. Those will hopefully beat the post office today. And if not, they'll be in there tomorrow. So expect those for all the Patreon members who want to check that out. All the bugbears and above. Go and get some stickers. Ooh, what am I doing here? Burt Gumble. Is that Burt riding a Grabloid? Bri, you know the rules. No fan art. I can't draw Burt Gummer again. I say again because we did a whole Friday special of me drawing Burt. I'm pretty sure I've drawn Burt a few times. All right, what makes... You don't have to delete it. That's fine. It can stay there. Friday is for fan art. I did have Burt in one of my campaigns. Who's a gunslinger that was helping the party. Were they searching for bugs or killing bugs? I can't remember. I think he was guiding them across the desert, and the desert was just full of giant grabby bugs. No, they were bullets. They were, what did I use?
On keg.
Yeah, they were on kegs. That's right. I like on kegs. They're fun. Giant ants. Yep. I think the way I worked it out is that the acid was being used in the metal refining process. He was one of the only gunsmiths in the universe at the time. And there was another faction of people that had stolen some of his guns and figured out how to make the metal. So he was trying to like figure out where they were getting the acid from, and the party just needed to go that way anyhow. So it was a fun little quest. I think I had an NPC character that I played with that party because there were only 2 of them. And he still has one of those guns. He's just like, he's waiting in the wings. He took one of them. Kind of like Scanlan's gun for Critical Role Season 1. I guess Not has one too, doesn't she? That's... Actually use it. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I think so, yeah. But I mean, that's pretty later on. I don't know if it actually. I haven't seen what happened after that. No, that's fine. I don't care about spoilers, but I don't know who else does. So, plus no one on YouTube can hear you, so whatever. Lincoln, you've yelled twig. I don't know what that word is. Is that a creature I should be drawing, or is that something else? Yeah. I don't know what that means. You have said it twice, Lincoln. If you can expand upon that. A werebear. Okay. I can draw a werebear. Shardmined Magus. Oh no, not more rock people. Or Magma Genasi. Magma Genasi would be pretty cool. Alright, we got some fun stuff. Okay, this should be a Goliath, and I think I made the face a little too thin. I made that nose. Look how big that nose is. Like, that's a huge nose. Check that out. I do... Yeah. That's something I've noticed I do a lot, is I over-exaggerate the nose, and then I don't have the room for the mouth. And that's part of the reason. I think part of the reason I've been struggling with faces is because I've been trying to correct that. And in the process of correcting it, it's just like, it's broken the way that I normally draw faces. And it's just like, what? Because now look how far apart the mouth is from the nose. It's just like, hello! And like, as caricatures, which I've done a lot of for comic books and stuff, that works. Like, it's fine to draw characters kind of like that. But once again, if you want that more realistic look, there is definitely a face proportion that most faces follow, and then you can kind of get more and more exaggerated with it as you go. Oh, that looks so much better. That looks way better. Welcome, welcome. People jumping in the call. I like it. There's so many people. Sarah, welcome, welcome. Let's see what we got going here. Mr. Loss, welcome as well. You know, this is a couple. I think we had 11 once. I think we had 11 at the most people we've ever had in the Discord at one time. I am hanging out on Discord if people in the YouTube chat want to come hang out. Very, very welcome to. I'm going to go ahead and draw. Did I get a troll shaman suggestion that I didn't see? Because I will draw the hell out of that. Oh, I gotta write that down. You've chosen your twin poorly. Haven't you seen the movie Twins with Danny DeVito? Yeah. You could be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, you just opted into being Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sierra.
Jesus, I don't know who that was, but nice job. I was wondering if you got it. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Curly Mohawk L4. Oh, that's why I missed it. I was doing push-ups. I do. WoW trolls are great. You know, something I grew up with. I'm on board. Especially troll shaman. Like that's classic. That's the OG stuff. Stay away from the voodoo. Yeah. Yeah, the troll axe throwers were great. I freaking love them. I was so pissed off. In World of Warcraft when it came out that you couldn't be a troll shaman or a troll hunter that threw axes. I was like, this is stupid. What? Like that's literally the only thing they did in the first game. I love it. I want it back, but that's okay. You could totally throw axes, but like not as a functional way to play the character. Yeah. They were pretty bad. I can't repeat some of them. I couldn't hear all of that, but I got some of it. Gotcha. We're gonna go like this. Trying to lean into the Goliath like rock heritage thing. Trying to make the Gotcha. I dig it. All right. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna make this kind of a little more plated. Give him some shoulder pads. I assume.
Yes, I get one a year.
You know what I've done? I've created RoboCop. That's what I've done. Kind of okay with it. Oh, yeah? God, those movies. That movie is so brutal. Like, as movies go, that one. My dad was pretty good at like curating what we watched as kids, and so. But he was totally fine with us watching everything. He would just like edit parts out of the movies because he'd record them on VHS or like fast forward through stuff. So I didn't know that RoboCop got RoboCopped the way he did until I was like much older. I stayed home. Oh yeah, yeah. Nothing surprises a kid more than staying home from school one day and watching RoboCop get his hand shot off. It's like, okay. Yeah, I assume he just got shot real bad. Not shot a lot. It doesn't matter. I mean, I watched it when I was little. Same thing with like Aliens and like Predator. I watched a lot of those movies that because my sister was older than me and she loved gore horror movies, and so I was like, well, yeah, you can watch them too. But then it would just be like, hey, let's take a break. Let's go get a drink. Fast forward. I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I get it. So. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's RoboCop 2, I think. I think RoboCop 2 is... Sorry. Yep. Well, it's like... It's just like the Joker from the Batman movie. It's just like there's just a big tub of acid just hanging out. You know, no lid, no nothing. I think there's a guardrail, it's fine. Not to mention it's just spewing its caustic vapors into the plant. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff wrong with that. But, you know, Gotham City isn't known for its OSHA compliance, so... Yeah, much like Detroit, where RoboCop takes place. Sorry, that was not actually a jab at Detroit. That was a jab at RoboCop's Detroit. I think it was Detroit, right? Yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff in that movie, but I also used that RoboCop became a verb when we started playing the hell XCOM, the new XCOM games. Because it's like, your character's been hurt super bad. It's going to take him 12 months to recover unless you chop off all his limbs and turn him into a cyborg. It's like, yeah, let's do that. Recover in a week. Just going to RoboCop that guy. Yep, just RoboCop that guy. Now we got giant mechs. Layer 4 copy.
Sorry.
Speaking of which, drawing settings, become admin. Okay, we're good. All right, I'm gonna call this Goliath portrait done. I don't know how I can make this look more like a Goliath, except just to like add more face paint and stuff. Not a lot of hair. Yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea. I like that. We'll continue the. That's a really good idea. Put some. Try to make it more uniform by adding some little accents to it. Put it on the. That just made it look more robotic. Whatever. That's it. That's what we're gonna do with that. Move on to the next one. Goliath Tempest Domain. All right. Another Goliath. Let's. Maybe I need more Goliath. Like reference. Yeah. Yeah, Tempest Giants. Do something like this. Little tiny ears. Stone chunks coming out of the arms. Now I've just got the mystery skulls stuck in my head. No, that's true. It is weird. Yeah, it's super weird. I think it was... Yeah, what was it? Was it No Reason Boner? I can't remember what the name of that song was. I was listening to a Game Grumps where Dan Avidan was talking about how he and Ninja Brian come up with the songs. And apparently they just, like, spitball names. Like, they each write down 70 names of a song. And then if they like the name, they're like, okay, how can we turn that into a song? And that's how a lot of the, like, Mansion Party and that's how a bunch of them come to be. Well, I like those shoulder pads. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was it. Nice. Yeah, absolutely. I'm totally down with that stuff. People want to use the... That's what it's for. Should all be in the Discord and draw. All that stuff is there. Feel free to send your friends to the YouTube channel. Check out Describe if you haven't checked out Describe. I'll run the press for that a little later. Yeah. I guess Goliaths don't really have pupils, do they? Let's do that. Zoom in real quick. Alright, well, as long as I have permission. Oh. Dang it. Did it again. I keep making the bridge of the nose just way too big. I think they have really tiny noses comparatively. I feel like they have these huge bodies and then like little tiny baby faces. What was the... Yeah, depending on where you get the lore from, because I mean, like, Goliaths are yeah, either basically giants or Earth Genasi, depending on how you look at it. And if you go with the Earth Genasi route, they're more like giant and elemental mixes. Where if you like the D&D kind of, they're basically stone giants and humans, which I'm like, okay, that makes more sense for the way they look, because in D&D they look very humanoid with like kind of cold, rough textures, whereas in Pathfinder and older editions they were really rocky. Like they had like stone protrusions. They still have the Stoneborn trait. Is that what it's called? Stone's Endurance. Stone's Endurance. Yeah. Yeah, but I kind of liked it when they were more almost elemental. They were like a half elemental race. I like that idea. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Which I think works really well if you're going with that, the idea that they're born from actual elementals. Like their body could be made out of gemstones, could be made out of different kinds of stones. I really like that idea. Wow, I cannot hear you at all, Corvus. It sounds like you're talking it's just gibberish. Yeah. No. It's just it's very strange. It's very, very strange. Yes, that's much better. Yeah, it just get really fast all of a sudden. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of 4th edition basically just tried to remove the monster. And a lot of 4th edition stuff is like, oh, it's humans and this, and it's this, and humans. It's like, okay, we get it. Everybody's a human. Cool. Yeah. In my experience, that's more of an elven trait, but whatever, it's fine. I think that's really the issue that I run into a lot when people are doing like, it's a half dragon. It's like, just make it a dragon. Like, it's fun. Just be a dragon. like you don't have to be part human or part something else. Just be a dragon. It's cool. Like, because it's yes and no. There are different races that they. Yeah, 3.5 lets you basically combine whatever you want. Right. Yeah. Fair enough. I think so. This goes back. Crossbreeding table, Jesus. All right, not safe for work. Let's see if we can get demonetized. No, I think the real thing behind a lot of that with D&D is really like they really stopped caring with tieflings and Aasimar. All of those are just outsiders, right? They're half-breed outsiders. And so what D&D started doing is they started saying, like, this is a very specific variant. So most of the tieflings that they talk about in the books, while a tiefling can be any outsider and something from the material plane, I say something, not just a person, the tieflings are specifically abyssal outsider half-bloods from where are they from? They're from a specific city. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But so that's the thing to think about. It's like, especially with the Aasimar, they are divine outsiders from a very specific place. That doesn't mean they're the only type. But if you saying things like tieflings or Aasimar, they're usually talking about those very specific, like small groups, just because that's what someone would have discovered, and that's what someone put in the book. And that's how I try to think of a lot of the D&D books is like, look, I'm Deckard Cain. I discovered this group of people that call themselves the Aasimar. They're outsiders. We should slay them. Oh, yeah, that's good. Did he use any of my art? I told him to. But who knows if he actually listens to me. I'm fluent with quarterstaffs. Yeah, and right. Yeah, so that's the big reason that I think Wizards kind of went the way they did, and not allowing like quarter-blooded things is basically because it gets complicated for the racial points. And there's like that's the back end of how you design a character. It's like, okay, so kobolds are actually I think at like a -4 or something, and that's when I say the kobolds are a weak race. I'm saying they're a weak race because they are designed that way, versus the Drow nobles, which are a monstrous race because they have like +20 to their racial points. So they have more feats than disadvantages, or more features than disadvantages. And so that's how they balance things, and that's how they figure out the CR of creatures. And so when you all of a sudden, and the issue I've run into is when people are like, I'm half dragon and half elf and half drow and half this. It's like, okay, so what? Yeah, what do you have with your man bear pig character? And they're like, I have all the bonuses from all of those races. It's like, okay, so now you have a +60 RP character, and you are the equivalent of 5 different characters mixed into one. Neat. That's the problem that this prompts, and that's why. So like normally, if someone's like, "Well, my father was an Aasimar and my mother was a fire elemental," it's like, okay, cool. You can pick one thing from each of those parents, and that's what you get. Those are your feats. Yeah, I mean, and that's how 5th edition kind of got around a lot of that, is with the kind of the sub races. Yeah, the sub races are just like, here's a unique variant of that. It's like perfect. Like that's a great way to look at it, because then yeah, that's one of the things people like about Pathfinder too, is like, well, I lost all my customization. It's like, yeah, but it complicates things. It complicates the math. I haven't yet. I have the books. I have not tried it. Yeah. They added a lot more tables. Yep. Yeah. But also that's kind of where yeah, Ancestry is a good way to do it. Tasha's is trying to do the same thing. They're trying to basically say like, it's okay to do these things that take more math, but you have to know that there is a balancing to it, because all the characters should start relatively the same, which is why like they're worried about things like kobolds and goblins and orcs like all having these, like, all orcs get +2 strength, -2 int. It's like, my orc spent his entire life in a wizard tower. Can I please have +2 int? Oh, the Guide to Wildmount? Yeah. Yeah. And that was a big push for the, like, no race should have negatives. And it's like, okay, fine. But, like, at the same time, it's and a lot of D&D has shown that most races get +2 and a +1. That's it. Like, just all races. And that's why with Tasha's, they're like, okay, we've condensed all of the heritage down to pick this. You pick 2 and you pick a +1, and then rationalize it with your backstory. Cool. That does, to me, it takes away some of the flavor of like kobolds being, weak. But at the same time, if you're rolling your character, it doesn't matter. Like, like if you want a weak character, just put a 6 in your strength. Done. Like my kobolds really squish. Right. That's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah, putting a cap difference, and that I guess that is kind of interesting because a kobold could start with a -4 still, but get up to 20, which is the max. I've always just kind of homebrewed it as I play because like, oh, you're a kobold with 20 strength, you're still not going to be as strong as a Goliath with 20 strength, just because of like the mechanical difference. So I've always kind of kept that in my mind, in the back of my mind, but yeah. That's the weird thing about role playing and having numbers and stats, and I always thought that was funny. An example of that is Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I always thought it was really funny that Spider-Man was technically stronger than the Thing. Spider-Man was one of the characters that just had. Spider-Man has basically unlimited strength, which I always thought was really interesting, and it was. Yeah, just regular Spider-Man is supposed to have. He's one of the few people that can like stop a punch from the Hulk until the Hulk goes just like apeshit bananas. yeah. And it's never talked about it because the Spider-Man has never like relied on his strength, but he does. He throws down with some of these like super powerful creatures, and so seeing that in stat form where they're like, oh, the Thing has 4 out of 5 strength, Spider-Man 5 out of 5, and I'm like, the fuck? And then you go and sure enough Spider-Man's just like, I'm gonna pick up this car, and you're like, yeah, okay, I've seen him do that. Like that seems legit. I guess I never thought of it that way. So I mean, yeah, Spider-Man can, if you can. Like, it's one thing for the Thing to be able to, like, grab onto a ledge and hold a bus, and it's another thing for Spider-Man to touch a wall and hang on it with his fingertips. Like, that's crazy. That's beyond the realms of possibility for anything in this universe. So Spider-Man's definitely on another level, which I dig. I super dig it. All right. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing is like Spider-Man is directly tied to the webs of the universe. It's just like, oh yeah, you're super powered, but well, tough shit. By the way, here's 5 clones and 3 of your dead wives. It's like, oh damn, what? I didn't know about this. Right. Yep. I can't draw this face. I think the nose is broken, but I think we're gonna call it here pretty quick. So let's see if we can. Oh yeah, it's way crooked. Check that out. This whole head is just wonky. That's always something that I think is really funny. Like, all of these high school students get superpowers, and they're just like, they're really fucking good at sewing. All of a sudden, it's like, check out these thermal formed plates I made for my suit. It's like, bullshit. I can't freaking get like a nice resin print, and you can just in your basement without your mom knowing can make these like Kevlar jackets. Bullcrap. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. They did that with Daredevil. And I thought that was interesting, except I was mad that they never gave him... I have my own issues with the Daredevil Netflix adaptation. It's pretty good. It's just... they did the same thing that happens with a lot of the... I think DC is really bad about writing this, where they basically write for one side of the persona. Like, so in the new Daredevil, there's no Matt Murdock. Matt Murdock just doesn't exist. It's just all Daredevil. And that kind of bums me out. And like, so there's no dichotomy. And so the whole time looks like Matt Murdock until he ties a scarf around his face. But he is just permanently Daredevil. With like, and that was the thing with the Christian Bale movies. He was basically always Batman. It was just always Batman on, and then, yeah. And it's like, I want to see some Bruce Wayne. Like, I think that's important, and I think Spider-Man usually does that pretty well. And we talked a little bit about that with like the older Spider-Man movies. I think like. Yeah, and they conflict. Like that's kind of the point. And I think the older Spider-Man did a really good job of being Peter Parker and a bad Spider-Man. And then the Garfield ones did a good Spider-Man, a bad Peter Parker. And then I think the newest one, Tom Holland, I think he's doing a really good job. I think he's got a nice balance. Once again, he's a little more Peter Parker, but like the story is driven that way. It's like you need to become Spider-Man. And so he's like, how can I be Peter Parker? And now I have to figure out how to be Spider-Man. I think that's really good. I think they're doing a good job of that one. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to call that one... Right, Spider-Pig's best. Sure. Yeah. I feel like I'm in the wrong chat. Spider-Verse is a super... Yeah. Let's see, we got the chat saying stuff like Spider-Verse is probably the favorite. Spider-Verse is, I think, really solid. There's a few things that I wish they would have dealt with a little differently, but overall, that was a great movie. I'm looking forward to more of those. Wow. Yeah, I think I got most of that sentence. But like, I really appreciate what they did for the movie, and the comic book dealt a little bit more with his the relationship with his uncle, and I felt like that kind of got fast tracked in the movie, which I was bummed out about. But they did a lot like the comic book takes a lot longer to get there because like basically the whole movie should have been only Peter, and then they added all the other stuff from all the other verses too. So like they condensed all that stuff into one movie. So I get why they did it, but I really would have liked to seen that struggle between him fighting with his uncle about becoming good or bad Spider-Man. I liked it. I really liked that movie. Dalcor, what you were saying about playing the monster races, yeah, that goes back to the CR, which is in Pathfinder as well, or the RP, like having balanced things. And you can do that with the monsters. I've talked about this on quite a few of my videos. Any of the creatures you like out of the monster manual, you can basically look at what level they are, take that as your starting stat block, and then start adding levels on top of it. So like with the polar bear, 3 levels in polar bear, 1 level in monk, you're a level 4 character. And with that, though, unless you start unlearning those bear traits, you'll never hit level 20. Is kind of the tick, because you'll only ever be able to be a 17 level monk and then a 3 level bear, and you'd have to retrain to get those upper levels. I think that's totally legit. I think that's a fun way to do it. I also think that it can be something that is unlocked. So like the red cap, I've been playing the red cap recently, and something that I just want to do as... Yeah, we haven't played them lately, but it's still okay. Basically, the red cap is like level 3 or something, but they have a ton of just super powerful moves. And it's like, what if we start getting those? At level 10, I get 1 of those, right? So you can kind of look at what you would unlock if you were subclassing, which is another thing that doesn't exist anymore. Subclassing into red cap instead of something else. But yeah, okay, what am I on here? Let's see, we did the Goliath, we did a werebear. Did we get a werebear drawn yet? I don't think we did. Are you drawing one right? Oh, geez, I had a whole part of the map just not shown. I'm gonna make a super chunk werebear. Because that's how bears do. We have a Genasi Pyromancer. Oh yeah, no, that's on there. I got that with the magma. That's right after the werebear. A rogue centaur, is that what you said? I've been talking a lot. Let's see what we got here. A were elephant. Were elephant. There is a huge call for, and I don't know if it's just because I've done so many Genasi videos and such, but I feel like a lot of the suggestions I get are were creatures or Genasi based. And I don't know if that's just because it's cool to be part fire, or if there's more to it. Like, I like humans, man. Why can't I just draw humans sometimes? Yeah, but you're not the only one. I draw at least 2 a week, I'm pretty sure. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, they were. It was really weird. I think that's a good point. Like I've had a lot of people just, especially with the Pathfinder versions, all had their own unique kind of things. So there were the sylphs and the Oreads. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I remember when 5th edition came out, a lot of people were kind of grumpy that the Goliaths weren't more. But I don't know if that's because Critical Role was, like, I mean, everybody wants to be Travis, but I don't think they came out in the original book, did they? Yeah. Okay. They didn't come out to Volos. People don't like Ford? I love Ford. Maybe I'm just wishy-washy. That, you know, that's fair. If he's the wet blanket for the chaos, that could be why I like him. Because it's just like... fucking... yeah. I feel like I love Marisha, don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong, because I think I feel like she picks characters and then plays them backwards, and I feel like that happens to me all the time. My character has a really bad charisma. I'd better be the face of the group. It's like, don't do that. Just stop it. And I don't want, it's like, I'm just going to shut up in this situation, then I just stand there, and everyone gets mad. And it's like, what do I do? What do I do? So, I feel the struggle. I also don't know if my, like, the normal way I play characters just kind of conflicts with that anyways. What was it? Is Lars still here? Is Lars still here? So something I've been doing with Rook is every time we get into a situation where there's a lot of people, like, talking, I'll always ask, do I feel like I can take this guy? And I think everybody has assumed that I'm gonna fight them. Just like that's my goal, is like, I'm gonna kill this guy. When really, like, the character's like, okay, what kind of a situation am I in? I need to figure out what's going on. And so I'll always ask that, and then I'll walk away, because I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna scope out and see what's happening. And I don't think that's how it came across. And then we were playing in Druid's game, and I started asking everybody what they thought about the Green Mother. For kind of the same situation. It's like, okay, what is everybody in this party doing? I want to see. But I think everybody took it as me, like, what did you say, asserting dominance? And it's like, no, that's not what I want. I'm trying. So I think part of it is that my characters are always kind of off-putting anyways. Not the best, like, people. And I want my characters to be very methodical, and they don't come off that way at all. Highly misplayed. Yeah, not well. I want to know how much danger I'm in. If he comes in with, like, shitty guards, you know, King comes in with, like, 2 guys, it's like, oh, he doesn't think we're cool. Fuck this guy. But if he comes in with, like, you know, in force, it's like, this guy's scared of us. Great. Okay, now I know more about the situation. Plus, it's like, can I fight my way out of this situation if things go south? I need to know that. If we're hopeless right now, I got to change my strategy, and I got to figure out what, like, can I take these guys? No. It's like, okay, we got to figure out how to get out of this room without fighting. Yeah, that kind of stuff is important to my character, to know that, but I'm just not good at describing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do they look like they have families? But I really do think it's one of those things like relying solely on your stats does not a character make. So having super high charisma or low charisma is just like, only matters if you have to roll. Oh, yeah. How's that? Ooh. I need to fix my posture because I'm just making all my characters crooked. I just make what? Jerk characters. That's very possible. I'm kind of an asshole. I don't mean to be, but, well, I kind of do, so it's fine. My characters are always like...
It's the player leaking through.
Yeah. Feverishly protective. It's like, how can I be a supportive character? Don't make fun of my friends. I'll fucking kill you. It's like, that might be a little too aggressive. Let's tone it down a bit. I also have this... There's this thing that happens with people... Because you're coming together as friends to play a game, you sit down, your characters meet, and then your characters are just like instantly bonded, right? So like that happens all the time in a lot of games. So that's not something that's unusual. And for me, yeah. And so I think it's more interesting that for my characters to want to kind of really reinforce those bonds. Like, why are we hanging out? Like, if you want to leave, that's fine. Just go ahead. Like, I don't care. And at what point does that actually become like, oh man, no, I need to protect these people, and I need to keep them safe. So there's definitely a little bit of a wobble there that I think a lot of people don't kind of jump that hurdle. They just kind of implicitly say, like, oh, I'm best friends with these people and I'll die for them. It's like, you literally met them about a minute and a half ago. That could be very true, you know? All right. What was the other thing? My character is built like a fighter, but is a cleric that should probably be a paladin. I think I've done that twice now. I'm still on. Yeah, but I got fighter states. Ooh, that's weird. That's not a bear at all now. Yeah, I have an Eldritch Knight right now that has, or he's a fighter that's an Eldritch Knight that took the Warlock feats. So that he has Warlock spells. It's fun. It's good stuff. I was thinking about that. I'm on the fence, man. Big dragon. Big ass dragon. Yep. That's kind of the thing. It's like... Oh, that could be fun. Nice. I don't know what that means. Oh, yes, I got it. I put the words together. That's apparently the line. No, that's totally fine. I get you. I accidentally closed the YouTube chat. Let me see what's going on over here. Jordan, do where elephants exist? Yes, they do, absolutely. Gotta go. Thanks for hanging out. Black Prime, I said that a while ago. Pooh, Genasi Werewolf, Air Genasi Werewolf. See, so that's the thing. We've now got into a Genasi, which is a half and half something, and then we're now adding a template on top of it. So we're triple stacking something, and that goes into that level of like, I want all the good things from everything to make a character, and it's like, just pick one. I do like that though. Like having a fire Genasi werewolf sounds really cool, like a flaming werewolf. That would be pretty dope. So that kind of design, I think is cool. Yeah, flaming werewolf. Can you imagine that? Every time you transform, you're just like all your hair bursts into flames. Look like Ghost Rider. That would be super dope. Yeah, some weird hellhound. That would be really cool, actually. And that kind of design, like, I really like. I like the template structure of making something a skeleton. Like, oh, I have a werewolf skeleton. It's like, I don't know how that works, but we're going to go with it, see what happens. And it's not really an issue unless you have, like, min-maxing problems. And that's really the core of the issue is min-maxing. So it's just something you got to watch out for, which makes me hesitant when a lot of people want to, like, yeah. Because it used to be, I mean, let me start with this, is that everybody played a half-elf over an elf because then you got the human buffs and dark vision. Everybody played a half-orc because then you got the human buffs and dark vision. And it was just frustrating. And so 5th edition, they basically just gave everybody half their dark vision except humans. And half those. So it's just like, that was kind of the issue to begin with. But at the end of the day, a DM could just be really lax on light sources, and it makes the world a much better place. So, okay, there's the bear. I'm gonna put some twigs in his fur. Maybe he's got. Hey man, I'm just over here, fighting stuff. Was this supposed to be a barbarian? I can't remember. What was it supposed to be? They did. Yeah, it was okay. You ever mad a character? I'm assuming that had a character that wanted to hire mercenaries to go on an adventure with. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. It's just, yeah, I am a big fan of. I'm okay with hirelings and I'm okay with NPCs. I've had a couple of my NPCs follow people along on adventures because, especially when I play with like 2 people, it's like, yeah, you need a third party member. Let's just bring one of these people with you. One of them will agree to go with you, but not all of them, unless you like really convince them. And what I do with that is either I play the character and I'd be very passive, or what I'll do is I'll have them control the characters and then react with what they say. So like basically someone's in charge of the group and then they're just waiting. Like, what do you want me to do? And then now the players again have to like run over there and fight that guy. It's like, great, okay, and then they decide whether or not to do that. Because there's also a disconnect with like, oh, this person's an NPC. I don't actually care about them. Let's just have them walk on the dangerous bridge first. You can go fuck yourself. Like, the DM needs to have control over those characters, but beyond that, I think it's great. I definitely think it's fun. That's interesting, yeah. I've not had too many people. I like playing games without tanks. It rarely happens because somebody usually falls in line with it. Yeah, I like playing tanks. Like my Dragoon, not supposed to be a tank. Kind of ends up being a tank. but it just is what it is. And it's yeah, it's. I haven't tried a blood hunter yet. I should probably actually build one of those out one of these days. But yeah, having if you build your encounters to where a tank is required, it sucks to not have one. But at the same time, you can build a lot of encounters to not need a tank. Tanking is just very optimal. If you have a character that's good at grabbing a lot of people at once. Barbarians, fighters, clerics, paladins, all can just being up in that front line. They don't have to be super tough because their kits are kind of designed to mitigate a lot of that. So it really depends on how you want to play your encounters out. Yeah. I think what people run into, like, because monks are super good, like they're almost immune to ranged attacks towards the end of the game. And like clerics are really good against mages. So you can get really, really careful with how you're building your encounters. And so like I had a character who basically his character had a death wish, but he had so much armor that nothing could hit him. And if I finally start putting in creatures that could hit him, they would one-shot the other characters. So that's why his character had a death wish, because he's just like, I'm going to always throw myself into combat every single time because my character is unkillable. And I'm like, great, let's find out. No. Well, he was addicted to dark water. He was addicted to dark water. No, that was his Achilles heel, basically, was that, one, he was impulsively addicted to a substance, and two, he basically didn't care whether or not his character died because he didn't think he could. Like he was kind of cursed with this, like, I'm super tough. He eventually blew up in a very spectacular way. It was amazing. But the point being is that I had to build encounters around the fact that, okay, I know I'm not going to hit him. How can I make it challenging for the other players and him to have to mitigate combat? So all of a sudden it became, instead of like big things fighting, it was a lot of little things. It was highly maneuverable things. It was more mages, because then the combat had to flow differently. And then when I've had characters that just don't have tanks at all, I have to think about, if I have one big guy that can just pop up and chomp somebody, that person's just going to die. So that's not a fun encounter. So the encounters have to be built to the party every time. And I think that's kind of the weird workaround, is that you don't need a tank, but you have to build the encounters different. You have to really think about it. Mm-hmm. So weak. Yep, super weak to the mental stats, but they're like they have bonuses to dexterity saving throws and constitution saving throws. It's like anything hardy, and even when they're raging, just like it's like, I just take half damage from everything. It's like, great, you're lit on fire. It's like, well, crap. Mm-hmm. Why not use the enemies that can incapacitate instead of kill? And that's something I've done too. But at the same time, like, if you always get knocked out, it becomes like a Pokemon game. It's like, oh no, I lost. They robbed you again. Yeah, we've had a couple encounters where we just had to run. It's just like, you guys need to, you guys can get messed up. Yeah, the other problem we had. I did do that once or twice, where like I'd throw things like, you guys can't just use your standard issue. If you attack these things, your weapons are going to melt. So probably don't do that. How are you going to solve this? Like, those are like puzzle encounters, and I think those are really good. A campaign where you're always bankrupt. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. It just always broke. Yeah, I mean that's right. Like so. Oh, what was it? I cast jump on myself, and I flew into combat. Like I was flying because I had double movement and jump cast, so I was moving stupid far. And I think we actually screwed that up. I think I was moving double movements. I jumped all the way into combat, and then instantly got charmed, told to run away. Still with all those spells on, I ran like 600 feet away from the party before it wore off, and I was just like, well, I'm out of this entire encounter. So that was pretty funny. Chorus, that's pretty good. That's kind of what I'm going for here. We're gonna see how this plays out. So yeah, I mean that's fine, but if you keep running into every time you have a fight, it's just like, oh, and you instantly get charmed, and you instantly get charmed. Like, yeah, right, and that just I want to make sure that people get that when you're designing those encounters, we've talked about basically like it's not a you versus the party, and that's when it starts to feel like that. When all of a sudden you're always running into the exact same obstacles. Like, so that same character, my first instinct was to the one that was super, super tough. I was like, oh, we're playing Pathfinder. I'm just going to start throwing guns against him because guns can bypass armor. And so then it just became every round he gets hit. And it's like, cool. Like, great job. You've just shut off my character. Neat. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's not the right way to do it. But having a few guys with guns every now and again was really fun. But it shouldn't be a like, oh, you're going to do that, well, I'm going to do this. It shouldn't be an escalated thing. It should always be a, how can I make this more interesting? And that can be really challenging. And like we were talking yesterday about flying characters. Like, yes, right off the bat, if a character's like, I can fly now, it kind of screws things up and you have to reevaluate it. But at the end of the day, it can add a lot of really cool stuff to the game, and you just have to figure out, okay, how do I incorporate that into the game without it becoming an escalation? Like, oh, you think you can fly? Well, then all of my characters have nets all the time. It's like, really? But that being said, if there's someone trying to kill your party and they've done their research, maybe they bring nets. Yeah, Tabaxi in the trees that just pounces. Paralyzation and stuff. Yeah, all those are good things. Just once again, it's like adding more magic. If you have characters with really high AC or really, really strong powers, you can counter them with magic. There are counters for everything. It's just a matter of balancing it so that it is still fun. What is your most interesting character you've ever made? The Kobold Cavalier was pretty fun. He rode a badger. But at the end of the day, the fun trick was that everybody thought he was a prince that has been turned into a kobold, but turned out it was a prince that had been turned into a badger, and the kobold wanted to become a knight, so he was helping the badger. That was pretty fun. I did not tell that story well at the time, and so when I finally revealed what had happened, everyone's like, "The fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah, I thought it was funny." I think at the end of that, because the prince turned back into a prince and he didn't have a mount anymore, I think I just summoned like a pig. It's just like, you're my new steed now. And the pig was like, "Meow." And that was it. And he rode off into the sunset. Later, man. Have a good one. I did not play a harpy. Jump Rope played a Strix, which is harpy equivalent. Basically a harpy. I think they have hands, though. I think that's the thing. Basically, the Strix are Aarakocra harpies. That's, I think, the best way to think about it, but... Yep. Well, can't put that on YouTube, but... Let's just do this. I don't remember now. Yeah, Gallagher is one of those. What was I watching? We were watching Good Mythical Morning the other day. And they were smashing stuff, and I'm like, this has got to be somebody's fetish. Like, do they realize that this is probably somebody's fetish? Like, are they doing this on purpose? Or is this just a weird thing that maybe isn't somebody's fetish, and I just think it's weird?
Squishing plaster-covered clay.
Yeah, squishing plastic-covered clay. Like, hey, yeah, it does make a cool sound, but this feels really weird the way you're presenting it. Let's just get these done here. No, that's not what I want. I want to do... We're just going to put like a whole bunch of flame coming off the back here. What time is it? Oh, geez, it's already 12 o'clock. Dang it. I think we're going to do a Patreon game tomorrow, if everyone is available. It sounds like... I haven't heard back from Jonas. And I also want to figure out when Red Team can play. But I think I might have a game tonight, so I might not be able to do that tonight. Maybe tomorrow? Said Friday was... I think Bernie said Friday was too busy. Unless you wanted to play Friday evening or something. Sure. Gotcha. Yep. Oh, of course, that's super cool. I think I did it backwards. I think I should have inverted some of this body plate. I think all the black should have been white. Doesn't matter. It's fine. I feel like from like right here below should be backwards. I should like flip the... I don't know if I can do that though. Can I invert a selection? Okay. I'm gonna break the rules here. Everyone be cool. Let's use the fill tool and see what happens. Whoop. It's not working at all. Cool. All right. Never mind. We're not going to do that at all. All right. I think that's it. Oh, I do like that horn. We should add some horns. What else do we have here? We got someone drew a troll shaman, right? Yep. We had a were elephant and the Mohawk elf warrior. I have Genasi written down again, but I think I missed it. A Genasi and a furball. Did I miss a furball completely? Gotcha. Whoa, no! See, that's why that rule exists right there. That's why we don't use the fill tool. I don't like the horns now. I'll take it back. Alright, I'm just going to stop with that one since we're running out of time. I'm going to get this Mohawk elf out. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I did the other one. I did the magma one, but that's fine. You guys can draw whatever you want when you're in here. Like, that's totally cool. You guys definitely help me out by having multiple artists here. So everybody who drew today, thank you. If you haven't checked out Burning Palace's Twitch stream, go check that out. I guess you can put a link, I think, in YouTube. I don't know if it'll work. Definitely go for that. Yeah, we did a lot of pressure for Jonas to stream. Well, I like the Jonas streams now. I think it's good, but definitely it's not. It's kind of the weird thing of like, hey, put your stuff out there so people can see it, and then there's, hey, do this as a job on a schedule so we can see you draw all the time. I don't want to push that on people. We haven't done an Artist Arcana in a while either because I've been so busy. But, like, just that little bit of, like, hey, next week, let's draw together and make a movie out of it. It's like, that's actually a lot of pressure. And I don't want people to have to feel that. Speaking of pressure, Kickstarter's a little late, but I think I'd rather take the time to make it good. I started working out the Kobold Gunslinger quest, and I ran to like 6 pages, and I was like, okay, hold on. Now I'm the one that has to scale this back. So, yeah, it got away from me. It definitely got away from me. When I write for D&D, like when I write down stuff for the Pathfinder game, and this is going to be very apparent if you ever listen to like the dialogue. I get a little blurb. I'm going to roll this right into Describe. I do a little box text, and that's it. And then I read that and I wing it from there. So I'll just have like 4 or 5 boxes, and that's a whole room. It's like, this is what the room looks like. These are the 4 people in the room. These are the events that could happen. When I wrote that out, I had like a page for the quest, and I was like, cool. And then I was like, now if someone else wants to read this and use it functionally, crap. So each one of those texts turned into like 4 paragraphs of what the backstory was. And I was like, okay, so I can't just give people my notes and expect them to know what the hell I'm thinking about. So that happened to me. That's what that was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely interesting thinking about what needs to be written and what isn't written. Yep. It's very hard to do that. Yep. I'm leaning again. Damn it. Ah, it's all crooked. Well, we're just not gonna flip it that way. No, I like that ear. I'm gonna come back to that. Did I take up too much space? Wait, what was a little too large? Good chin. Yeah. Trying to make everything smaller. Blarp, 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 blarp. I need to get like a book of face portrait references or something. Just start drawing out of it. Oof, that sounds terrible. I ordered that foreshortening book, and it hasn't come yet. I don't know where it is. Just need to set up a Amazon affiliate program. Druid's made me buy more books than anybody else I've talked to in the last few years. Well, that's more books than most people. Show me more pictures. It's not bad. Is this a bad scan on the Amazon, or is the book high quality photography? Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. I might pass that one. Good reference, though. I'll take a look at that one. Yeah. Howdy, howdy. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to finish up this. Is this hair curly enough? Jump rope.
That's curly enough.
Okay. I'm going to do a pauldron here. So she's a fighter. The shoulder we'll just leave blank. I like this idea of like the little like neck to shoulder tattoos. But I think I just made her a little too tall. You know what? Let's just try this. Perfect. Ah, get out of here. Dang it. I do like that ear, but it's at the wrong perspective. Their head turned, it should be over here. Give her the earring back. Yeah, I think I squished her too much. Let's see what we can do about that. She's an elf, so that's fine. And then really the shoulder just needs to be a little higher, I think, is the problem. Yep, that helped. Okay. She's turned a little bit. Oh, that is accurate. That is 100% accurate. It's pretty good for a bulk. Okay, I think that is probably where we're going to call it for the day. What time is it? It's like 12:30 now? 12:15? I think I missed something. I missed the elephant genasi, so maybe I'll have to do that. The elephant genasi. The were elephant, yeah. Maybe we'll do some were creatures on Friday. That could be a fun free draw, except I have to work on Friday. A were-elephant. They're the Loxodon. I have done a video about the Loxodon, yeah. If an elephant got bitten by a werewolf, does it turn into a werewolf or an elephant dog? Like what part of the werewolf is it infusing whatever it's bitten into the word at the end? So is an elephant wolf still a werewolf? It turns into a carnivorous mammoth. You're right, because the were is actually a human, like, right? The term were is actually mean man wolf, is what the werewolf comes from. I keep forgetting that. Yeah. I forgot that. I think I put that in one of my videos anyway, so that might be out there somewhere. The werewolf. Werewolf. All right, with that pun, we're going to call it. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. We do have the new affiliate program going with Describe, so if you want to check that out, you can check that out. I'm going to run the ad press for that here in a second. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks for giving us your suggestions. I'll post these on the Discord here in a little bit. If people want to use those for their own home games and whatnot, just let me know. Like, I'd love to see a character sheet with my art on it. Let me know if you use those or anything. We'll be trying to get the Kickstarter going here soon. I'm sure I'll do a big kind of press junket video before we start that Kickstarter, so you'll have the little side quest zine we're trying to make. We'll talk about that more. Trying to work on some videos. Probably won't have a stream tomorrow because we'll be playing games here in the Discord. So if you want to come listen in, you're very welcome to. We just won't have the chat enabled so people can't talk while we're recording. Other than that, the Patreon rewards are going out today. Probably tomorrow because I have to go get more envelopes. I doubt I'll be able to make it back before the post office stuff figures it out. But other than that, that's what we got going on this week. So thanks again. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your diapers on the table. And let's go check out some words from Describe. We'll catch you tomorrow, everybody. Big thank you to all of the great creators over at Describe for helping make this video possible. If you're looking to jump behind the DM screen but are worried about being at a loss for words, then check out Describe.com. Describe offers over 1,400 scenes of places, monsters, and spells, and collections with dozens of new scenes being added daily, just like the boxed texts from your favorite adventure books, but designed to be read aloud and in your own campaigns. Start the adventure of a lifetime with the help of Describe's finely crafted boxed text. Spelled DSCRYB, all of the Describe scenes are set in a world of epic fantasy like many of your favorite RPGs. Each scene shows their subjects, whether it be place, monster, or spell, and other observation, by describing the sensory experiences. Scenes also help set the narrative tone and provide a prompt for subsequent actions and role-playing. Visit describe.com/Rookzer0, that's DSCRYB.com/Rookzer0. Use the coupon code Rookzer0 at checkout to get an additional 10% off of your monthly subscription.